Okay.
Hello, bonjour, everybody. I'm Manon Lapierre, and we have Jennifer that I can let introduce as well from the TMAC chapter in Quebec. This is our first PD session hosted by TMAC Quebec, so we're very excited, and with none other than Stay22. And Stay22 offers affiliate solutions for travel creators, travel bloggers. We've Myself and Jennifer have been partners with Stay22 for a long time. They sponsored our Christmas event in Montreal. You probably recognize their faces, and they've prepared this amazing PD session where you can ask your questions if you haven't yet joined Stay22.
Also, if you want to ask questions in French, we speak French, so there's no problem. You could also ask them as you go in the chat in English or French, and I'll take notes so that we make sure to answer them at the end as well.
Should we
All right.
say who we are?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me go first. My name is Felix Contant. I'm in charge of creator partnerships at Stay22. I've been here for a little bit over 4 years now, which is a very long time in the tech space, if you know SaaS companies and affiliates.
Oh,
Oh,
Felix is frozen.
oh. And Stay22 is based in Montreal, if ever you're curious,
We've been
but they
around
do.
for we're getting a bit more known at this point. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, like the girl said, we created a product suite for travel content creators. We're branching out into online shopping with more lifestyle content and like creating a bunch more stuff in the future. But we officially started in the space with the event and ticketing segment using an interactive map feature that we developed a while ago. And we've been working more proactively with content creators ever since 2020. Um, as of today, we are the leaders in the space when it comes to travel content monetization with affiliates by developing automated features so that we can save you the hassle of creating links, understanding the market, supply, and whatnot, so you can focus more time on creating your content. Um, I am very happy to be here. I love talking to communities all over the world, so Canada, United States, and in Europe, and many other regions. Very, very, very excited and proud to be a part of the TMAC community and especially the Quebec chapter, which is where we're based. So this is pretty awesome.
Amazing. So I'm Manon Lapierre. I'm co-creator, co-founder of lapetitebête.com, and we have a blog for the past. We launched in 2015. It became a full-time job with my partner. With two kids and a mortgage, we jumped into this crazy world almost 8 years ago. We have a YouTube channel of over 200,000 subscribers. We have a blog. We have all of it. Um, and I met Felix a while back, I think in last year. And
Yeah, about a year
I,
ago.
yeah, and then he was trying to explain what Stay22 was, and I was like, ah, no, 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 I don't need it. I don't need it. And then eventually, once he explained what the solution was, I thought, well, what's the risk? And I signed on. It was one of the easiest implementation that I did ever. All I had to do was say yes, and then it started working, and I started seeing money arrive. And I was like, I'm doing nothing more than I used to do. I had zero, not one complaint from our followers on the site and from the readers. So it's been great for us as a business because passive income makes a difference, as you all know.
Hi guys, I'm Jennifer Dallas. I'm I think what we call an OG blogger nowadays because I started in 2010, so it's been 16 years this year. I have the blog Moi Mes Souliers, which is in French, but I also have a second blog, Chasing Poutine, which is about Quebec in English, which is quite new. And my story with Stay22 actually started 9.5 years ago. So just after the foundation of the company, I used to write for the blog back when they took, they were more centered towards events. And I actually, we had talks in a boardroom about what are bloggers and what do they do and why affiliates would be good and how their product could work. And we were trying to convince them, me and my colleague at the time with the agency that I had. Um, we were saying we would love this for our affiliates, and slowly but surely it became something. So it's really cool to see where Stay22 is at now. And obviously, like Manon said, it's something that's super easy to implement, and I started making money instantly with Stay22, which is not something you can say about all affiliate programs. So it was really cool. And that's why we're here today, to kind of support Felix and telling you all about Stay22.
Amazing. Thank you, ladies. So if you know me, you'll know that I really do not like to push for products and like just sell like an like old car salesman when it comes to like the difference that we make in the space and how we do it. I prefer to use like an angle of showing the difference, the outcome it makes, and how much time you save while making more money at the end of the day. Um, and we have a lot of content to back this up. So as of a year ago, we published a creator travel industry research report in partnership with Travel Massive to just try to understand, because it's an ever-changing industry, what's new and like where things are going in the content creation world. A lot has happened in the last couple of years. Google updates, changes in how traffic comes to your website, changes in the travel affiliate industry, and so much more. So I think it's great to just start this conversation by a bit trying to understand what's the trend right now in the space. So this might seem a bit obvious at first when it comes to the top revenue streams for creators, but I think it's very important to look it up. So from the research, most of content creators make most of their money from sponsored content and partnerships. So mainly writing gigs with brands, DMOs, and whatnot, but also professional services that they do on the side. So it could be, again, writing, SEO audits, or SEO ninjas, as I often see on about pages, photography, selling guides online, selling merch, and whatnot. And funny enough, advertising is not the number three top revenue stream anymore. It's really all about affiliate sales for a few reasons. Again, changes in the algorithms and all the things that change over time, which was not there before. Back in the days when I started, like 3 or 4 years ago, when I started working with creators, advertising was the top thing that content creators were after. Oftentimes delaying their integration with Stay22 to make sure that they were keeping their traffic safe to reach the threshold to get in a partnership with Mediavine, for example. Now the tables have turned a little bit. And what surprised me the most in these numbers is that only 60% of travel content creators earn more than $25,000 US per year, and that only 14% of travel content creators that were surveyed in this report made over $75,000 annually, which was quite shocking to me. Which takes me to the evolution of affiliate strategies in travel blogging. Before we get there, understanding that some of you watching this webinar today might be new to the affiliate space and some are veterans or OG, like Jennifer said, I just want to go through a very quick timeline, not going through all of these points, but just so you can understand a bit where all of this is coming from before we tap into the future of affiliates and why it's becoming more relevant today than ever. The affiliate started in the SaaS boom of the early 2000s, so from 2005 to 2012, give or take, when the internet was still growing the new version of what it is today. And it's really when the travel brands started launching affiliate programs. Back in the days, it was very easy to just like go with a very static way because it was the only option available. So you just put a booking.com link on a page and you just let it live there and then hope for the best. But over time, as like any industry will do when people start making money, the market got saturated, overly saturated with brands switching from one affiliate merchant to another, creating uncertainty for travel content creators, frustration, and many negative points that made this discipline of the industry perceived from a very bad eye, which is where we kind of started when we started doing affiliates a bit later on in 2020. But as we grew the program for travel content creators, we optimized that standard to the new trends that are happening now. So based on SEO, based on how user browse content from increasing mobile devices compared to desktop versions of the websites. So it's becoming a lot more dynamic, and it's becoming more important than ever to understand user intent and how they consume your content more than just using the spray and pray approach with your affiliate links. To illustrate that a little bit, understanding the underlying power of affiliation, I love to use that iceberg kind of analogy. So the number one thing that is the most obvious when it comes to affiliates is just like dropping accommodation, tours, eSIMs, car rental, any kind of like travel related affiliate links in your content, which is usually like the most classic schemed top 10 places to stay guides. But those who are more experienced in this space and like have been doing this for a longer time understand now more than ever that optimizing your content for monetization makes a whole world of a difference if you really want to have that as a sustainable passive income. And like the top experts also know that the data that is generated from affiliate conversions is gold as like a marketing best practice when it comes to optimizing that content and then leveraging that data to sell your business even better. And going through this very quickly, I think I'm missing a slide here. Knew it. And so at the end of the report with Travel Massive, we highlighted the top 3 points that what high earners do differently. And I think this is very interesting to go through these points because me, Jennifer, and Manon all have our kind of expertise when it comes to that. And like we can say a lot about these different points to help you guys pull your card out of the game and adopt better practices to make a better living out of your content. So number one, compounding smart revenue mix of active and passive income. So gigs, selling products, and then passive income coming from affiliates. Taking advantage of new technologies, not necessarily about AI. I know there's a bad press of AI with the content creator space, but there's a bunch of tools that you can use to support your business and automate your flow so that you can really focus on what you enjoy most, and that's like creating content. And then finally, having a business mindset. So I mentioned the marketing approach. It is really important now to establish your leadership in the space as a content creator to understand the business lingo that is used by many organizations to really secure those brand deals more efficiently.
Yeah, and if I can jump in, like in the past, when we started LaptitBit about 10 years ago, for the first few years, 80% of our revenue was coming from product placement and collaborations. And we were burning out fast. Like I didn't want to hire staff to edit the videos. I didn't want to hire people to write for the blog. The whole point of doing this was to having freedom, but I realized I was working more than ever. So as years went on, we really switched our revenue model. What we did differently to achieve, I would say now it's 80% almost passive. We focus greatly on our newsletter. We have 55,000 newsletter subscribers now, and we we treat them like family. We never do any ads on it. We want to make sure we bring them great content, and it takes out of the Google algorithm, so it's our own base. We built a masterclass which continues generating revenue. For people who don't like to have ads on the site, we do a subscriber model so they can connect and be a subscriber of the site. We have books. Of course, we do have Mediavine in our case. We've tried Raptive, but we're on Mediavine, which is bringing us a bulk of the revenue from all the traffic that goes on the site with all these strategies. And now, it's funny because at the beginning of the year, I did the accounting, and I realized way back when I would have this table where it was mostly, X client with X agency, X dollars. And I had this little, small paragraph of money, and very little came from anything else. And now the clients is this tiny paragraph, and the rest is Stay22. Facebook, we make money out of the videos. YouTube monthly revenue. Stripe from selling the masterclass. Mediavine. And I repurpose a lot of the old content instead of focusing so much on rewriting or writing new stuff all the time. I use old videos, I cut them differently, and I put them on different channels. And Stay22 for us was, I found that using affiliate links at first was like, wow, it's amazing. And then I realized I had broken links, and the managing of the affiliates was not worth it for us. And with Stay22, I have no issue with it.
Someone said something, but
Yeah. Do you have a question?
I didn't see who it was, so it might have been just a
Okay.
audio mistake. Were you done with that, Minal?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Well, you said like managing affiliates has always been hectic, and there's many affiliate programs, and some have direct, and some, and it's a lot of management. And that was something that drove me crazy early on, especially back in the day when there was no Stay22, and so there was no way to, manage everything. And one of the things that I found when we're talking about new technologies is tools like Thirsty Affiliates, and I'll write them in the chat, but Thirsty Affiliates and Pretty Links. I don't know if you guys know this tool, but if you don't, it will change your life, literally. It's basically a plugin that you put on your site, and you can put all your affiliate links in there. And what it does is it makes one link everywhere on your site. So let's say if I talk about the same hotel in 12 articles, I'm putting in the link only once into Thirsty Affiliates. And if ever that link was to change, I change it once in Thirsty Affiliate, and it changes it automatically in every page on my site. So if there's a broken link, I change it in one place. If, affiliate programs change, I change it in one place. And that was one of the reasons that I remember talking to Felix years ago, like, I'm not sure about Stay22 because, I'm doing this and it's easy and simple. And what happens if I don't want Stay22 anymore? Or what happens if programs change? And you guys said, well, we can make it work with Thirsty Affiliates as well because that has a special URL. And so Stay22 was able to just go in and take that special URL and read them in a way that I get all my affiliation money through Stay22 for those programs, but I didn't change anything to that link structure that was well organized. So it's really easy, and it doesn't prevent, the other links that maybe I didn't put through Thirsty Affiliate to work as well. So if you're using that, know that Stay22 can fix that for you very easily so that it works. But also, if you're not using that, I really recommend it because when things do change in affiliate programs, it's hell to change it everywhere on your site. Unless you have a super nice Excel spreadsheet of where you put your links, it becomes complicated to catch them all. So that would be something I definitely recommend.
It's just me, no one does that. No one handles like a spreadsheet for links and everything. I've never seen that.
I have.
Thank you, ladies. Okay, never mind. Maybe one person. Thank you, ladies, for bringing those points. And like it's just so funny because it's the same conversation I have over and over again. People never realize how easy it is to work with us because they still most people are still within that mindset of like for the like older days of feel with like everything was static and like you had to manually change, replace, manage, repair all of your links. manually on your own, which is honestly very boring and tedious. And like we really try to like make that very simple for travel content creators. And it's a point I bring up very often in conversations that yes, there are many networks out there who offer a similar service. Like they have a wide inventory with like many different merchants, not only in travel. But what Stay22 did is that we took that inventory with Booking.com, Expedia, Vrbo, Kayak, Get Your Guide, and whatnot, and we optimize it as a workflow that works for travel content creators. That like you just pretty much don't have to do anything if you don't want to do it. If you want to like have a Jesus take the wheel moment, we can absolutely do that as part of the integration plan. Which takes me to obviously my next slide here. I'm going very quickly through this. Some people might be familiar with like this kind of intent funnel. Just to illustrate like the traditional pathway to conversions on affiliate links. So keyword by intent is what brings traffic to your website when people do their research on Google. Historically, what converts for, let's say, an accommodation link in your content, so top 10 places to stay in Costa Rica, for example, it's really when you get that kind of research entered in Google, which we call commercial intent, a little bit of transactional intent, but mostly commercial, that like will drive conversion to your links. When you get too transactional, it's the stage where people won't even go through your content. It will go straight to the online travel agency website, Booking.com, Expedia, and whatnot, and make their reservation there. What we found out with some of our automated features like Nova that do not require on-page affiliate links to convert is that we're directly tapping into the top of funnel content, so mainly informational and navigational content, which in my experience represents roughly 60% of the traffic that comes through your website before it's called confirmed intent, so commercial intent. And this is really where the magic of everything lives, because your recommendations remain true and authentic. And this is what converts best on your website. But what comes to like this kind of floating intent is converted by Nova, and it's the traffic that would usually bounce off your website after consuming your content, and they will land on the OTA website and make the booking, which is not attributed to you. So we have this new kind of user intent-based retention strategy that brings bookings to your doorstep without you having to do anything aside from creating and updating your content, which I think is really amazing.
It really works.
And this goes in line. Yeah, this goes in line with all the new trends in the affiliate space. So the logic is moving from just simple placement on a page to really going after any kind of confirmed and floating intent that go through your pages. And what we also found out is that even though like it's about travel and accommodation, travel intent is a very, very wide spectrum. And we found out that it can go from those top 10 places to stay guide, which is like classic travel content, through adventure content, food content, like Manon experience with her content, and like lifestyle in general, which is very, very interesting.
Yeah. So even if you have a lifestyle blog, like our site is mostly food and cooking and food and travel as it relates to food. And I'm surprised to see the amount of clicks and bookings that are generated from onion soup. And it just works, and we get like several $100s in USD every month from existing content without having to add any links on the page.
At the end of the day, a lot of the decisional process around traveling comes from food. So you go to France because you want to eat French food and experiment other things in France, but the food is quite something in France. So it's just the whole logic behind it is very interesting to look into. We even found out that on weather websites, tools like Nova that leverage that very low level travel intent works and converts well when implemented at scale. But beyond just conversion, what is also extremely valuable nowadays is the data that comes from these monetization funnels. And like, I know it's a bit mumbo jumbo, it's complicated to understand when you're getting started with it, but it's good to also keep in mind as you experiment and like expand on that for your business, your blog, your website. Understanding the data behind conversion really helps you understand what part of your content converts best, so you can double down on that and like really improve how, while keeping the authenticity and like your own flavor with your content, to just reframe it in certain ways to just bring more bookings and then support your business and grow alongside that. And this is what top creators are doing, and they're doing it very, very well. And we'll get into that in a few, but beyond just simple content optimization, there's also the whole part of having the data to back up the power of your business is extremely useful when you want to negotiate deals or make agreements with tourism boards, DMOs, agencies, or brands. And it's something that I'm really hoping to see more in 2026 onward. And you can actually start with that today. So as a Stay22 partner, you already have access from the dashboard to these data sets. So you get the classic basic data funnel of script loaded, which represent visits on your website, links, on-page link clicks, bookings, and whatnot, which is all exportable via CSV if you want to be like Jennifer and Manon and play with spreadsheets all day. And if you really want like top level insights, you can always go through the new page analytics that will show you per page or per post the conversion that you get. So earnings per clicks, generated income, and like pending revenue. I have more advanced list of data points that are very interesting, but just to illustrate a bit what that looks like when it comes to EPC, we took a screenshot of Jennifer's dashboard to show a bit what that looks like. And what's pretty cool here is that since she has more than one website, we can track all of those performance per website, per post independently, see the bookings that are made, the clicks, the earnings in general, and like what she makes. So at first glance, you can tell the pages that perform best, the kind of content that performs, so you can act on it to, if you want to optimize your stuff and explore this avenue further.
Yeah. And as creators, sorry, go, Jennifer.
No, go ahead.
All I wanted to say is that sometimes it's hard to prove the engagement, and that our content and articles and videos and everything are leading to actual sales. And it's our way to, it can be very useful when it's time to pitch another destination, or as you're building a report for a mandate that you had with a destination. So it's great tools.
One of the things I wanted to say was like having two blogs. When you start a second, a third, a fourth, I know some people here have like 5 going on. When you first start off a site, it won't make it into certain affiliate programs, or it's really complicated because you got to manage all that separately. Whereas what I loved is I just put it into Stay22 as well, and I can get, my data separate or together, but I get the money together. So the threshold to being paid is, because of Moi Mes Souliers, and that's going good. I got paid fast for my Chasing Poutine revenue as well. So that was cool, which is not always the case, in other affiliate programs that are more direct.
Awesome. I will go through this list very briefly. This is more advanced knowledge, but I love to put it out there because a lot of people don't know the hidden power of their Stay22 accounts when it comes to that data. Ahead of TBEX in Quebec City and TBEX Ireland last year, yes, it's 2026 now. I did a lot of research in partnerships with a few content creators I'm close with, and identified some very interesting data sets that could help supplement either a media kit or just a pitch to a brand. And just to very quickly show the kind of advanced capabilities we can offer. It's not available. It's not a product available from the Stay22 dashboard, but by getting in touch with our support team, we can pull some of these reports for you and adapt it to what you need to get in terms of information. So geographic breakdown is very, very cool. Some metrics by page view, a bit like the EPC format I just showed, but like we can adapt it to different scenarios. Top booking, demographics, where your bookings are coming from, especially when you have an international audience, is very, very interesting to look at. Engagement metrics, and my favorite one is seasonal trends. So when you're long-term Stay22 affiliate, it's very cool to see how you make bookings and clicks and the kind of engagement you get and where it's coming from over a whole year or over several years if you've been with us for a long time. And that's very, very useful data for brands to just understand if you're a good investment. Which takes me to the next step here, the easy to verify part. We work with a lot of different platforms. I use SEMrush regularly, like SimilarWeb and like different like engagement platforms, just trying to understand like potential opportunities. And I realized that a lot of that is not made up data, but it's kind of like algorithm based. So it's kind of like hard to track. And on the flip side, from the influencer side, or even with GA4, the data you get is not always like super actual and factual. And it's something that I was told several times by multiple tourism boards that is something that they do verify and that like is really important to have like a good overview of when like it comes to doing partnerships. So as part of that research, I came up with these 4 data pillars that help you support not only brand deals, but how you present your business within like a media kit, like when you approach and like communicate with brands to try to like do something with them. And factual audience and engagement are like very, very important to support that. Clearly showing how your content aligns with the market the brand is trying to sell to, or like even geographic relevance when we talk about tourism boards. They like to see how your conversion is doing, and like the kind of value you bring to the table, especially if you can break it down by destination and where people are coming from. And then again, seasonal trends and long-term return on investment. Some platforms are pretty great when it comes to showing immediate return, immediate engagement and conversion, especially when they work with influencers. But the power, the hidden power, if I can call it that way, of travel bloggers is that you're able to show consistency. One single post can generate dozens of bookings over several years, which is something that you will never see in social media content. Maybe a bit YouTube, but it's a bit clunky. It's not the most optimized flow. Your website is really something that remains stable over time-ish, depending on how Google feels about you. But it's something because people are doubting a lot if blogging is still relevant in 2026. I can tell you it is. It's just not the easiest thing to sell as a business, but the power is here.
They've been saying blogging is dead since I started in 2010, so.
And it's still going strong. So
Still there.
And yeah, in my research, speaking to several brands, mostly in Canada, I just felt like adding some of these points here that could be interesting for you guys to see, especially if you're getting started, like you're struggling with increasing the volume of traffic that comes to your website. Size doesn't always matter. Authenticity is more important. Like engage an engaged audience with the content that the destination or the brand want to see is way more important than just having a big bucket of views. Aligning your visual identity and backing it up with data is something that is very important to them as well. They want to see your visual identity, your personal spice, but backing it up with data is also very important, especially knowing that a lot of brands you will meet, especially at conferences, are not always the decision makers. They need to be able to tell your story to the rest of their team, and backing that up with data is really what sets you apart. point three is something that I really love because it's the first question I always ask anyone from a DMO of like, how do you guys work with travel content creators versus influencers versus traditional media? And the line is always very blurry because they don't always know in what bucket to put you guys. They label you as influencers sometimes, and I'm like, no, these guys are not influencers. This person is a content creator, and there's a difference, and they need to understand that. So make that a lot easier for them and present yourself as an alternative to traditional media with the same I'm trying to look for the word in English for that, but like the same integrity, the same discipline, and the same way of working, just so that it's easier for them to say, yeah, like give you a yes. And last point, I'm repeating it a lot because it's a very valuable point. Just having a long tail, like a long-term track record, really sets you apart as well. It minimizes the risk from the brand's perspective, and just makes all of that a lot easier. And I did not add like my like proofing moment, but I played with a few media kits and optimized that with Stay22 data, and like asked a lot of tourism boards to just review it and like see what they think of that. And they all approved and said like this is the kind of information that's very valuable, and they never see that on media kits. They see a lot of social media metrics, but blog metrics are kind of unknown, and like it really helps understanding the full opportunity. And like they all have their quirks and they work in different ways, but it's something that can make a difference. So that was my point here. Quick summary before we go into the last part here. Just a reminder of all of the things you can do with Stay22, aside from making more money, of course, which is like the number one cool thing that you can get with us. But there's also a ton more. I just love to see creators using all of the value that we give them to its full extent. So optimize your existing content using the data. We have a team that can support you with that. We have the expertise on that. Like we kind of have a bird eye view of what's changing and what's working in the space. So if you're new and you're getting started today, just ask us, and we're more than happy to review your content with you and like give you a few tips and put you in the right directions. Market research, especially trying to find your niche in the drier days post Google updates, showing that authenticity again, and like setting yourself apart with like that very special angle of Costa Rica travel makes a big difference, and the data can help you refine that content nugget. And of course, business intelligence leverage, just being able to show the value over time you bring and the eyeballs you get on a certain destination makes a big difference.
Yeah. If I can add something there, I would say that with AI, the consumers, the readers, or communities, or families are looking more for authenticity. They want to trust us, and that's become super important for us. And having articles with bunch of links does not bring you any good level of trust. Like if you look like a billboard, and that to me is a big value of what Stay22 does, is that it converts without seeming blatantly like obviously like an ad. It's more, it follows the intent of the reader, and it brings them to possibly booking a travel, but without me having to say, click here to see more information on this hotel or this destination. And I feel it's something that's going to be important as we're seeing more and more AI content out there.
And one thing we didn't mention too is that you can tailor Stay22 to what you want or don't, because there's different, like, I don't know how you call them, modules or like chapters or
modules, layers.
Yeah,
we're more than happy to adapt to your objectives for sure.
Yeah. So for example, for me, the Spark part wasn't doing exactly what I wanted. So I decided to take that off my site, but I can turn it back on anytime. And so, depending on what works, what doesn't, or what you're using, you can decide on what you want. So that's cool too. You don't have to just plug it in and have everything.
And this all starts with a conversation. And because we love to give back to the community, we have a special offer. We're doing our very first Valentine's Day intro offer. So by scanning this QR code here, after making your 100th, I have a hard time pronouncing that in English. Your After making 100 confirmed bookings, you get $400 American. Um, just because we want to give you more. So for new signups and integrations made before the 19th of February, this takes you to my inbox or my team's inbox. I'm not sure. I would need to ask marketing for that. But I love to have conversations, trying to understand where you're coming from, where you want to go. And I'm always happy to give you suggestions and then come up with the best integration plan for your needs and objectives.
Yeah, and it's really a special offer because in my days it was $100. I'm kind of jealous.
And I mean, it sounds like, we're completely in love with you guys, but I guess in a way we are, because you bring us money every month. But I was going to say, like, the support is really good, to be honest. Like, I've written countless emails with questions and this and that, and the response is really good. And now that you all know Felix too, like, you can, write to Felix and he'll send you to the right person if ever it's something that, support is not necessarily helping perfectly well, although they always have helped me really well. So even yesterday, Felix and I were talking about some like tech stuff, to take it further. So it's fun to know that there's people behind the company, and it is Canadian, which is cool for, the TMAC as well, association, the Canadian part. So that's always good.
And we love to have these conversations. Oh, sorry.
No,
Who
I was
is
going to say
talking?
there's a question. Is this only for new signups or does it apply to all Stay22 partners?
This is only for new signups, unfortunately. But if you're an existing Stay22 partner and you want to find more ways to make money, you can always hit me up.
Do you have more questions?
There was a question earlier. I think we might have answered it, but Jessica Harry asked, is it only for travel affiliate links or also lifestyle? So I don't know, Jessica, if you wanted, a further answer to what has already been said.
I can jump in otherwise. Most of our supply is geared towards accommodation. So as mentioned earlier, we have ongoing partnerships with Booking.com, Expedia, Hotels.com, Vrbo for short-term rental, Kayak, TripAdvisor, and so on. But we also have a partnership with Get Your Guide for tours and activities. The tour segment is not fully automated because we need to make further integrations with other tour partners like Klook or Viator, for instance. But eventually, this is something that we will also bring to the mix as a different iteration of the Nova automation. And as of this year, actually, we launched in early access our online shopping segment. So retail, which works very well with lifestyle content or food content. And we do kind of a intent-based mix and match between retail and travel offers based on the contextual keywords that are in your content. So for Manon, for example, and I always get back to that example, like if you have a recipe and like there's a mention of like you need to use a spatula to like scrape something, there could be a retail offer showing spatulas at Walmart, or if like it's a recipe about French grapes and like it really is inspiring from a travel perspective, maybe you will get travel accommodation options in France to go eat their grapes because they probably taste better than what we make here.
Yes, because their butter is better.
Yeah, it is.
And it's always better when you're not at home.
And that too.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions? Don't hesitate to open up your mic or write them in the chat.
If I can add something, I know as bloggers, creators, influencer, whatnot, we get bombarded with offers to add something or work with people. And I'm super wary of who we work with. And when I say this was easy, it was all I had to do really was say yes. And then when I was talking with Felix, he said, we'll set it up for you. So and so is going to contact you. And then I think I had to do maybe one thing, and then it started working. And I was like, what? That's it? That what? And I had literally nothing to change since then. So it is easy. It's as a creator, I wish it was all like that.
I also haven't found like any, problems with like plugins that are not working with Stay22 and stuff like that. Like it
Yeah.
hasn't happened in years I've been using it, compared to with other things I had used previously. So that is also a good thing. There's no major bugs you can't fix unless you have a programmer. So that's always good.
Yeah.
And we keep that top of mind when we run the integrations. It's something that our support team is trained to also spot when it happens on their website. Like some plugins and scripts or like sometimes like don't exactly work together, but like there are like some mechanisms that we can help you with to prevent that to happen. So like we don't want to break anything on your website, of course. So we make sure that when we do the integration with you, that like everything is working as it should. Um, yeah, so it's been working pretty well. And like it's I just want to add also that like we've had like conversations with Europeans a lot with like data privacy, like GDPR protocols and like cookie banners and this and that. I get that question a lot, especially from German partners. And just so that you guys know, like we don't only work with travel content creators, we work with travel, like large enterprise media publications like Time Out or Hearst newspaper, for example. And like they have massive teams of people who looked at the code and like made sure that it was not breaking anything, impacting site speed, call web vitals, anything like that. It was all thoroughly vetted. Um, and it works. It works extremely well. And content creators are privileged to see the highest conversion in this space because your content and the tool that we offer were specifically designed to work together to bring you the most value for what you create.
So there's two questions. Kathy's
Yeah,
asking, did we discuss cost with Stay22 membership?
because there's none. It's not a membership. It's a
Yeah.
partnership. And we often say that very a little bit cheesy line of like if our partners win, we also win. It's always in our best interest that you guys make the most money because this is partnership based. You can jump in and jump out at any time if you're not happy with their service. And we're more than happy to stay on our toes to make sure that you guys get the best service and the best conversion possible because we want you to stay with us for the long run.
And the second question was from Jessica. Do cookies have to be implemented for Stay22 to track the visits and conversions?
It helps, but there's a way to do without. Usually, especially with like again the Germans, because they're very heavy on GDPR compliance. There's a way to associate script to load only when the cookie consent has been agreed on by the user. It's not ideal, but it's a way to go more in line with GDPR standards in Europe. So yes.
Awesome. Those are good questions. Anyone else? You answered everything too well, Felix.
Well, if you have any questions, my email is not in this presentation, which is surprising because I always put it in there. But you can always send me your questions at Felix at stay22, stay22.com. And I'm happy to answer those. And I'd like to just close this time on the new version of the affiliate travel trends report of 2026 that was designed by our amazing marketing team. When I went through this kind of content, I was blown away by the amount of insights and top level points that are not really talked about a lot in the space that are directly usable today by most travel content creators. So I encourage you to really go through that report, see what's how things are doing in 2026 and use that to your advantage.
If you do a lot of like educating when you're trying to sell campaigns and partnerships and stuff, this data is good too as well to send to your partners.
Yeah. And we should probably add we aren't paid by Stay22, even though we're paid by Stay22 every month because we're partners.
We get paid with Stay22 when things
Exactly.
Yes.
open up by Stay22. No,
Yeah.
it's like I know we sound like we're completely in love with it,
Yeah.
but it was just like a natural fit, and that's why as well, we're having this PD session is because we believe in it. And we both make quite a bit of money from it. So I
Yep.
mean, we believe in it, but it's not sponsored in the sense that we're not receiving anything to
Exactly.
be here today.
It's a synergetic effort. We just work together and like we're happy doing it.
Yeah. And I mean, you're from Montreal, so.
Yeah. Well, if
Awesome.
we have no more questions, I guess we can close this first PD session of TMAC Quebec. And I believe Stay22 is going to be at TMAC in BC, right? So if ever you forget and don't benefit for the special Valentine's Day, well, you can meet Felix and Stay22 there.
I will chase you down in Richmond, BC.
You will.
I will.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.